What's up, guys? I'm going to try to show you how to calculate a shed dormer. So when you're dealing with two different pitches, there is a point in which they will intersect, and if you know how to do the math correctly, you can locate this point on the rafter. You can lay it out in advance, and it's very useful information for roof cutting. So before we get into that specifically, I gotta mention a couple terms to make sure everybody knows what the hell I'm talking about. If you're familiar with the roof cutter secrets, you already know about this, but if you're not, you're going to want to study up a little bit on what a rise ratio is and what a common line length ratio is. Okay, so these two numbers are just ratios, because everything in the rafter world is based off of, you know, your span or the run of your rafter. Knowing that the rafter is always going to be a ratio of your run. For example, if you take an 8 pitch, which is 8 rise, 12 run, you're going to end up with 14.42 diagonal with the hypotenuse. So if you take the hypotenuse, divide it by the run, so just hypotenuse divided by run, you're going to get this common line length ratio. And what that means is that no matter how long the run is, your rafter is always going to be 1.20185 times longer than your run. So if you have any run, you know, anytime you're figuring out your roof, if you have 89-inch run, you multiply it by this number, and that will tell you how long your rafter is. It's very convenient. Also, the rise ratio works the same way, because your rise is always going to be, you know, a fraction of the run. When you're dealing with an 8 pitch, it's always going to be 0.6666 times smaller than your run. So anytime you know your run, you can locate your rise. Anytime you know your rise, you can work backwards and locate your run. So if you had a rise and you divided it by this number instead of multiplying it, it would tell you the run. So that's just some basic math here, but I will be talking about the rise ratio and the common line length ratio in order to do this portion. So I'll give you a little screenshot of it if you want to pause it and check it out. All right, so the first step to figuring out a slope dormer is to determine what's called the converging pitch. So what the converging pitch is you take your main rafter pitch, and your shed roof pitch, and you subtract the smaller from the greater, and that gives you the converging pitch. So 12-12, 4-12, we've got an 8-12 converging pitch. And we use that number to basically jumpstart our math here. So the second bit of information that you need to know is how high your dormer is. So straight up the dormer through the heel height, how high that is above the main roof. So in our case, we've got, you know, sometimes you have to do a little bit of number crunching to figure that out, like in my wall height, standard 8-foot wall height, plus the heel height of my rafter. And then I can just figure out that I'm 4 foot up before my dormer starts, subtract, yada yada, basic math, 4 foot 8 3/8. So I'm going to work that in here in the next little section, but this is an important thing to know. Converging pitch and how high your dormer is above your main pitch. Those are the two things that you have to know, okay? So then you take that information, and basically what it does is it creates a triangle where we can use the rise ratio, because we know the rise. We just figured that in the last little section there. And we're going to use the 8 pitch, our converging number. And that's what this represents, that triangle right there. This is not any part of the roof, it's just useful for the math here. And we're going to work backwards. So because we know the rise of this triangle, we can divide it by the 8 pitch rise ratio, which is 0.6666, and that will tell us how long the run is. Okay, so 7 foot and 9/16 is our run. And now that we know the run here, this is actually the run for 3 different triangles, 2 of which are very useful to us, right? So we have the triangle of our 12 pitch, and we have the triangle of our 4 pitch. So now that we know the now that we know the run of our 12 pitch and the run of our 4 pitch sections, now we can take it a step further and use our common line length information to calculate the diagonals, okay? Because we know that with the 12 pitch, it's always going to be a certain ratio longer, right? And same thing with a 4 pitch. Whatever our run is, the diagonal is going to be a ratio longer, a fixed number. So in the example of a 4 pitch, our common line length ratio is 1.541. So the slope will always be that amount times longer than the run. So we just do our little basic math there. Common line length times run equals the rafter length. And we come up with a 7'5" and 1/8. We do the same thing for our 12 pitch. So I've got the triangles labeled here. So we knew that it's the same run for both of these. Just different slopes. So we'll multiply our common line length of a 12 pitch. And that gives us 9'11" and 9/16. So we take these two numbers and let's see, missing one more slide here. The final solution is something that looks like this. So now we're able to calculate how long from the bottom of the dormer up this rafter that locates our headout. So we can place this before we cut our rafters, and we know our rafter lengths from the top of the heel, 7'5" and 1/8, 9'11" and 9/16. And again, all of that is just a reflection of knowing this triangle right here, which is based on the converging pitch. The main pitch minus the smaller pitch. That tells us our converging pitch. We use the height above the main roof. And we work backwards using a rise ratio of an 8 pitch, of the converging pitch. We work backwards to figure out our run. And then we take that run, we multiply it by the common line length of a 4 pitch and by the common line length of a 12 pitch. And that brings us here. So hopefully that wasn't super complicated. I know it was kind of wordy, but there is, again, a great amount of resources in this book right here. If you don't have it, it's basically going to tell you the same thing in about a paragraph, probably more concisely. But yeah, hit me up if you have any questions. Hopefully I can talk you guys through it. And if you check out my recent post, it's basically shed dormers that I've been building that look just like this. Yeah, frame on.